want to go now to that congestion pricing press conference from the MTA. Let's listen in.
And my counsel, Brian Mahana. At 1:01 p.m. today, the U.S. Department of Transportation emailed us a letter from Secretary Duffy announcing their attempt to end the congestion pricing program in the state of New York. At 1:58 p.m., President Donald Trump tweeted, "Long live the king." What are we fighting for here? We're fighting for our residents, our commuters, our riders, our drivers, our emergency personnel. Life has gotten better. Even those who have asthma, people with illness. That's who we're fighting for. And the 6 million people who use the MTA to get to their jobs and their lives and their doctor appointment, nurses, doctors, EMTs, all that we need to get to their jobs in a reliable way, they're now going to be affected. I don't care if you love congestion pricing or hate it. This is an attack on our sovereign identity, our independence from Washington. And this is... filed a lawsuit within minutes. I'm very confident we'll be successful. And I also want to say, the cameras are staying on. We are keeping the cameras on. Lights, cameras, action. They're staying on. As I'll say, if in some world that they are successful, the next time you're stuck in traffic, the next time your train is delayed, the next time you're in a flooded station because infrastructure repairs were not made, I want you to think of this. Think about this. Next time you're stuck in traffic.
Wow. Thank you, Governor Hochul. Thank you for your leadership on this issue. Simple situation. New York ain't going back. We tried gridlock for 60 years. It didn't work. It cost our economy billions. But you know what's helping our economy? What's making New York a better place? Congestion pricing. So as the governor said, let me just take you through what's happened in the month and a half since tolling began. Traffic was down 9% in January. 1.2 million fewer vehicles entered the central business district, and that meant bus speeds and all speeds went way up, particularly express buses, people coming from areas where a lot of people drive. The cross streets, which are the death zone for drivers in Manhattan, anybody knows that. Canal Street, 34th Street, 57th Street, speeds are up. The streets are safer, half as many crashes, and that means pedestrians are not getting injured and killed. But this is a governor who talks to me about the economy. There are fewer cars, but there are more people coming to the central business district. That's what you want. And the central business district areas have had a surge in pedestrian traffic, office workers, tourists, shoppers, that far outpaces the rest of the city and the rest of Manhattan. And small thing, we heard a lot of people, oh, no one's going to come here for dinner. Restaurant reservations up 7% since congestion pricing, far outpacing the other cities on the East Coast. Broadway is humming. Gross is up 25%. Audience attendance up 20%. Yellow cabs were concerned. They've had a hard time before COVID and during COVID. Their trips and their tips are up 10%. Their yellow cab drivers are seeing a lot more money. And a small fact that might, I don't know, interest President Trump, commercial office leasing in the month of January 2025 compared to 2024, up 61%. Is that a vote of confidence? People want to be in New York. People want to come to New York, and they're signing leases. New Yorkers are seeing the difference. As the governor alluded to, there was one poll, major poll done, and it found that 6 out of 10 voters say President Trump should allow us to keep congestion pricing. And interestingly, 7 out of 10 drivers The people who regularly drive to Manhattan are saying, this is good, this is a good deal, and they are saying, keep congestion pricing. So it's mystifying that after 4 years of environmental study, a 4,000-page environmental review, that the US DOT would seek to reverse course. So we're doing, I just want to reinforce what the governor said. We're doing exactly what the federal government asked of New York and everybody, doing a thoughtful local solution. I thought the Republican Party was in favor of local control. I thought the Republican Party was in favor of local control. And so, as you said, Real World New York, a new episode, tells you at our density, 9 times Phoenix or Houston, one of those Sunbelt cities, we don't have enough room to have everybody come to our streets in a car. We just don't have enough room. So, as the governor said, within moments of receiving that letter, we responded with a lawsuit which says, number one, we're seeking a declaratory judgment that this is not proper, and number two, we're not turning off the tolls until this report.
I see I'm been joined by a number of elected officials who've been real champions on this. Senator Brad Hoylman. We have our council member, who's here. Dale Brewer is here. Keith Powers is here. Anybody else? Thank you. Thank you for standing with us. I have my counsel here, Brian Mahana. If anybody has any questions about our legal strategy, would you like to address that or just wait this? Okay. All right, we're fired up, ready to go. What do you got?
Take a couple of questions. Allie Bauman back there in the blue, CBS 2. Allie.
Governor Hochul, I wonder if you think that it's a coincidence this letter came on the same day that Mayor Adams was in court over the DOJ trying to remove the case against him, or if you think the Trump administration is trying to send a message in sending this letter today.
I have no clue.
All right, there's Bernadette Hogan right down in front row, New York 1. See if we get a mic. Where's Ray? Got a microphone for you.
Okay. Governor, you canceled a meeting with Donald Trump last week. Do you regret doing that, where you could have maybe struck a deal with him? And would you still be willing to strike a deal with him now if he agrees to give the $13 billion or whatever it would be if congestion pricing is turned off?
Bernadette, there is no connection between me saying to him last week, the day he invited me to come down to have this conversation, which I have been pursuing, and then 3 hours later, I see on national television that his Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is now saying she's filing charges against me as governor of New York. I called up the president and said, I'm not coming down tomorrow. I don't know what your plan is. You're gonna slap handcuffs on my goddamn hands? So I'm not coming down, but I will be back later in the week, which will be this week, when our national governors gather. And he said, that's fine, we'll get together and we'll talk. That's why I know it has no bearing, despite the premise behind the question.
All right, hey, no, we gotta move on. We gotta move on, Bernadette. Mara Gay here from the New York Times. Mara.
I'll stand here and make deals. There's one person who wants to talk to me, I'll see him in Washington.
Governor, have you spoken to the president today since that letter came? Do you believe he's trying to, do you believe he's trying to hurt New York City? And who is really in charge of New York City's government right now?
Mayor Adams is the elected mayor of New York City. I'm the governor of New York. New York City is a subdivision of the state of New York. I also have responsibilities to make sure the services are provided to 8.3 million people that I also represent. I'm not concerned about that. There is a path forward to make sure we stabilize this city and its government. That is unrelated to this. I'm happy to talk to the president at any time, and that's all we do. What was it?
That the president of the United States is trying to hurt New York City and its economy.
I said that I think our commuters are the roadkill on his revenge tour. Yes, I do.
All right, Ramsey Khalifa back there. Ramsey from Gothamist WNYC. Ramsey.
Governor, are you concerned that this is just the start of more punitive cuts down the road from the president? I mean, what have those conversations?